Melissa and I started like most college relationships do, spontaneously, passionately, and with the naive belief that love alone would be enough. She was the kind of girl who turned heads in a lecture hall without trying. I was a broke engineering student working part-time at a campus bookstore. Somehow I made her laugh. Somehow I mattered to her, for a while. We lived on microwave noodles and ambition. I thought we were building something real. We talked about kids, houses, startup dreams. I wanted to create something that would outlast both of us. She wanted the world, fast, loud, and filtered through rose gold lighting. When I graduated and started working 12-hour shifts as a junior mechanic, saving every dollar to fund a side hustle, Melissa began pulling away. At first, it was subtle. She started talking about how her friends were all moving forward. She'd sigh dramatically when I had to cancel a night out for freelance coding gigs. Then came the comparisons. Ryan's boyfriend just got them tickets to Paris. Maybe if you worked smarter instead of harder, we wouldn't be stuck like this. I brushed it off. I thought she was just frustrated that we'd come out of it stronger, until one Thursday evening I came home from work, oily, exhausted, but excited because I'd just landed my first real freelance client. I opened the door and knew something was off. The apartment was too quiet. Her favorite candles were gone, closet half empty, jewelry box gone, and on the kitchen counter, one single post-it. You're a good guy, but I refuse to live small. Don't contact me. That was it. 4 years. Reduced to 10 words and a silent exit, no goodbye, no warning. I spiraled. She left me with rent, bills, and the ghost of a shared life. I lost my apartment in a month, forced to move in with my cousin in a tiny guest room that smelled like mildew and despair. Nights blurred together, cheap instant ramen, dark circles, and failed client pitches. I didn't cry. I went numb. But rock bottom isn't always the end. Sometimes it's a forge. I channeled everything into learning, coding, business strategy, branding. I built, failed, rebuilt. There were nights I didn't sleep. There were days I skipped meals just to keep the lights on, but slowly, painfully, things began to shift. By year 2, I had my own team of remote developers. We launched Loop Ledger, a financial planning app for freelancers. Simple, useful. It took off like wildfire in niche markets. I got invited to speak at a fintech summit. I got a feature in Entrepreneur magazine. My name, once attached to nothing, was now being Googled by strangers. I didn't post about it. I didn't gloat. I just lived better. Then I met Tara. She wasn't flashy. She wasn't obsessed with followers or filters. She was a UX designer at a tech firm, sharp, funny, effortlessly kind. She asked about my goals, not just my numbers. She stayed up late to help debug app issues with me. She brought me soup when I was sick. She didn't want a mansion. She wanted a home. Tara was everything Melissa never even thought to be. One chilly November evening, I proposed under a string of lights in our backyard. She said yes through happy tears, and I knew I had rewritten my life completely. Then came the text. Melissa, out of nowhere. 2.5 years of nothing, and suddenly she was back. Hey, been thinking a lot lately. I miss what we had. I've grown. I've changed. If you're open to it, I'd love to see you sometime. Maybe just coffee. I stared at the message, not with rage or longing, but with calm disbelief. She didn't know who I was anymore. She had no idea about Tara, no clue I was weeks away from marrying the woman who helped rebuild my soul. So I responded, "Wow, it's been a while. Things have changed for me too. Actually, I'm getting married next month. Want me to send you an invitation?" She read it instantly, then another message. "Wait, married? Already? Who is she? Are you serious?" I didn't answer. Instead, I sent her a link to our wedding website, beautiful shots of me and Tara, on a cliffside in Santorini, arms wrapped around each other, sun setting behind us. The invitation was classy, elegant, and very public. Melissa clicked on the link 5 times. Then she went silent. But the silence didn't last. 3 days later, she showed up. At my office. In heels, designer coat, lip gloss, like time hadn't moved. Her eyes scanned my desk, the logo behind me, the framed article with my face on top 30 founders under 30. She smiled nervously, and what she said next was the beginning of a twist no one saw coming. Melissa stood in the doorway of my office like a ghost from a different life, draped in designer confidence, pretending nothing had ever shattered between us. My assistant had tried to stop her, but Melissa had always been skilled at slipping through barriers, emotional or otherwise. "Ryan," she said, breathless, like my name still belonged to her. I didn't stand. I leaned back, composed. Tara always said my silence held more power than my words. "You look successful," she said slowly, eyes darting from the sleek standing desk to the awards lining the shelf. "This place, it's impressive." "I built it," I replied simply. She gave a soft laugh, the same rehearsed giggle she used to use when she wanted something. "I know. I've been following your company. You've done well. I didn't realize how well." I nodded, letting the silence stretch long enough to remind her she didn't belong in this chapter. "About that text," she continued. "I know it was sudden. I've been thinking about us. About everything I lost." "That's unfortunate," I said coolly, "because I haven't thought about you in years." The jab landed, but she pushed on. "Look, I made mistakes, okay? I was young, confused, but I've grown, Ryan. I've changed. You can't tell me there wasn't something real between us. Don't you think we deserve another chance?" I tilted my head. "Is that why you're here? For closure? Or because I'm successful now?" That hit harder. Her face tightened. Her eyes scanned the room again, this time with desperation instead of admiration. I remember how we used to dream together, about building something real. Maybe we can still—" I stood up, cutting her off. "Melissa, I am building something real, and it's not with you. My fiancé stood by me when I had nothing but ambition and insomnia. You left when my dreams were still fragile. Tara helped make them solid." Melissa's smile cracked. "I know people change," I added. "But people like you, they don't evolve. They adapt to advantage." That was when Tara walked in. She had come to drop off a prototype design folder, unaware of the visitor. She paused when she saw Melissa, but her face didn't flinch. She was unbothered, regal. "Hey, babe," she said to me warmly, kissing my cheek like Melissa wasn't even there. "I brought those final UI layouts." Melissa's expression darkened. "So this is her." Tara smiled at her, polite but indifferent. "Hi, you must be from the past." It was brutal, beautiful, a moment I'd replay in my mind for years. Melissa's jaw clenched. "You replaced me with a tech nerd?" "I upgraded," I replied calmly. She stormed out, muttering insults that echoed in the hallway but landed nowhere. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. A week before the wedding, Tara and I received a package, no return address. Inside was a small photo album, old pictures of Melissa and me, vacations, parties, notes I'd once written her. At the bottom was a letter, handwritten. "I don't expect you to forgive me, but I wanted to give this back. You were right. I didn't help build you. I just wanted the finished product. You deserved more. I hope she's everything you needed. I hope you're happy. I'm leaving the city for good. Consider this my real goodbye." It was almost sincere. But it didn't matter anymore. Closure wasn't something she could give me. It was something I gave myself the day I stopped chasing people who made me feel small. The wedding was perfect. Tara looked like a goddess, and as I stood at the altar watching her walk toward me, I realized something Melissa never taught me. Real love doesn't demand proof of success. It builds it with you. At the reception, one of my friends asked if I'd heard from the ex again. I smiled. She's history. And the truth is, she was. Melissa was just the storm that cleared the path. Tara was the sunrise, and I never looked back.